Hey guys, and welcome back to the second part of this week's fan fix. Now this is a weird week because we do have two parts to my fan fix videos. There's an article attached to it, so go to puremtgo.com and check that out. Now this is the deck we are looking at this week. It is a blue and white version of kind of an Exalted based deck. Something I thought was very cool, is submitted by Psychobabble, I believe is even his in-game name. That's his name on Pure and whatnot, so that works out. Now, I did go over, definitely check out that first video. I did go over the deck and kind of talk about some of my concerns with it. A lot of the stuff he had pointed out himself when submitting the article. And I did not have a lot of great answers for things such as the mana base, but I did want to try one thing out. My biggest suggestion was the working in of Trinket Mage. As you see here, I brought in 3 copies of the Trinket Mage to replace the 2 Outriders, as well as one of the Hindering Lights. And in order to do this, it's given me a chance to bring in 2 copies of the artifact lands. I brought in 2 Seat of the Synod and 2 Ancient Dens in replacement for 2 plains and 2 islands. And I think that'll help kind of the mana problems that the deck has. At the same time, we can get Bone Splitters out a little bit faster as well. So we're going to give this a try. This is something that I said in the other video, I usually do not take the changes that I suggest and put them in. I do it for time's sake mostly, but this time around I am going to do it just because, I definitely want you guys to get a chance to see it, and, people who are unfamiliar with my mini-series here of fan fixes get an opportunity to see just kind of what I'm doing. So this is going to be cut 3 times. I am going to do 3 live games just to give it a test through in the casual room. Doing it casual because there was no sideboard. So we're going to, please don't mind the cuts here, but it is going to take a short kind of jump, and then we'll get into the first game, and we'll do, I think, 3 games to see how it works out, and I'll kind of sum it up at the end here. Alright guys, we got our first game here. We are going to be going first. And we're going to keep this opening hand. We have 2 lands available, which is great, and even more important, we're going to be able to get this 1-drop Falcon. On the downside, I guess, we do not really have a turn 2 play at this point in time that will give us an ability to activate this Falcon and attack through, but yes, we draw into Avon Squire. That's great. This means that we are now going to be able to not only attack through on this turn with the Falcon, but we're going to hit for 3, which is great. Cloud Post comes down, and I gotta say, I am absolutely sick and tired of facing post decks. I know I am absolutely guilty of this as well. Put down the Squire as kind of our only play here, of playing post decks, but I am so sick and tired of playing it. It seems everybody is running it these days. Little tip for you, if you're playing this deck and checking it out, you can use the F7 key to stack all of your Exalteds. Alright, kind of saw that coming. I'm guessing this is Dimir Post, since he is running black. There is a new version out there right now that does combine both the UBR Post. Definitely going to be a lot of trouble for us because we do not have a lot of options for preventing things. I know in the email Psychobabble had talked about possibly using something like Apostle's Blessing to kind of balance things out. I don't know where you would find room for it, is kind of where I was going with not focusing on that as an option. This is another thing that I've run into a lot. You'll see in the other video during one of my games versus a mono black control, you run into so many issues because of these Diabolic Edicts, these non-targeted kill spells, because of the fact that I was going to say because of the fact that they target you and not the creature, but Hindering Light actually will prevent that as well. The problem really is mono black controllers run so many of them, and even though we have a lot of creatures in this deck, the trick with this deck is having multiple Exalted creatures on the field at any point in time. This gives you, the ability to make your creatures bigger. If you can't make them bigger, then you're in a situation where you just have 1 or 2 guys swinging for a little bit. You may not be able to get through blockers. So, bit of a situation here. I'm going to throw down the Thistledown Duo in hopes of Steel of the Godhead on the next turn. Here's my situation, though. My opponent just played Chittering Rats, and this is a new kind of mechanic, a new thing that I absolutely love myself. We did get Ghostly Flicker printed out, which gives an ability to blink 2 permanents that you control. So the combination is, Chittering Rats plus the Mnemonic Wall, which allows you to return it, or not Aethermancer, the new guy from M13 that has the same ability to return from your graveyard an instant or sorcery. That being said, you use those in combination with Ghostly Flicker in order to continue to keep your opponent from drawing cards. This may not be so bad if he can tap out to play the Chittering Rat and all. I have an opportunity, or play the wall. I have the opportunity here to at least, I hope, still get the Journey to Nowhere in to remove the Chittering Rats. Even worse, Capsize. Alright, well, it's not going to be so bad here. I do know now that he has Capsize. I did top deck into a basic land, which is going to help negate that. If I did not get it, I would have been hardcore screwed because of the fact that I would have to wait turns before getting this Chancery untapped to have the mana on the Thistledown Duo. I am going to be able to attack here. He has 4 cards in hand. I know one of those is, unfortunately, is Capsize, and he has more than enough mana to play it with buybacks, so this is not a solid play. This is the game's kind of over already kind of play. He does have the ability, he can just Capsize the Duo and bounce that and lose the enchantment. This game really is over as soon as that Capsize comes down, unless I get a Hindering Light, because I do not have an answer for Capsize at this point in time. It's my only answer right now, is being able to draw into a Hindering Light. I'm going to have a little bit of an opportunity to kind of stall for time here. Thankful to get these islands. The life gain that we did get off that attack is going to help me out a little bit. You see we are still at 24. The Squire has the ability to attack through the air, so it's going to give us at least a bit of an opportunity to try and stay in this game, but that Capsize is just brutal. Oh, well, thankfully he's preordained, so unless he gets an island, he cannot Capsize this turn. Let's see what he's got going here. He does have the Expedition map, can search out the island. Usually, though, he's going to probably search something. I imagine Glimmer Post is what he's going to look for at this point in time, because he is only at 10 life. Oh, no, did get the island. Alright, okay. I guess that's good for him. It gives him the opportunity to... Oh, there's the wall. Gives him the opportunity to use Capsize without having to... Echoing Decay. Gives him the Capsize without having to use the Prism. If he is running a splash of red, then he can use the Prism for that as well. Sometimes you'll find Dimir Post decks that run things like Karavek's Torch or Rolling Thunder, so they really need the Prisms, actually, to be able to get that extra land out there. Yep. Alright, well, so that was bad. He did use the wall to get back his kill spells, wiped off my field, puts it at a severe disadvantage, but got his combo set up. I can, at the very least... This is going to be awful, because Journey to Nowhere... Here's the situation. Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to Journey to Nowhere to remove this combo. And why is this so bad? Well, it's simple. Capsize. The Journey is useless because it's not a permanent removal. He can just simply Capsize it, and now I have to put that island back. This game is going to be over if he has a Ghostly Flicker in his hand, because I have no removal at all. Really passes the turn. Oh, he's going to do it on my upkeep, so I skip my draw. Smart man. Yeah, this game is over. Oh, man. I guess I'm not even going to reattempt to play that. We'll throw down the Guardians just to do something. It at least gives us a blocker for the Chittering Rats. Like I said, though, if he has Ghostly Flicker, this is game over. And I'm just going to concede out. Yep, there it is, Ghostly Flicker. Okay, well, that's it. I'm going to concede this game because it's over. He's locked me out. And I'm going to pause this, and we'll pick up for the second video. Alright, guys, we're here, game number 2. Opening hand. This is one of those situations. I have blue mana, I have 1-drops, but I can't play the 1-drop, so I think I'm going to attempt it and go to 6. This is much better. Okay. It's not so bad because we are on the draw here, so that does give us a chance to oh god, probe. This means infect. If this is infect, I am going to cry quietly. Oh, sorry about that. Alright, well, we will get our turn 1 Falcon into turn 2 Squire. Maybe it's just mono blue control. He does play out an island here. Yep. I don't know if this is any better though. But I'm gonna keep that rage quiet. We're going to now go into the Aven Squire so that we can, or at least attempt Aven Squire. It's probably going to get counterspelled. Yeah. Squire there would have given us a chance to attack through the Cloud of Fae without having to worry about it being blocked. Alright, Spire Golem, cool. Tournament decks in the casual room. Gotta love it. Alright, so he's tapped out, so we're going to take this opportunity to put down Thistledown Duo. This does give us a chance. We can attack with the War Falcon, but there's no point. He's going to swing with the Spire Golem and end his turn, I'm guessing. So we'll take 2. I feel like I could play these games in my sleep because I've played it so many times. And another Spire Golem. Alright, well, he is tapped out at the very least, so we can put down this on the Duo. Luckily, if you find a situation against mono blue control where they are tapped out, you can make plays like this, and they don't have a lot in the option, like as far as bounce spell. Some will run the Vapor Snags. Thankfully, not all of them do. Chancery's going to go down. We did finally draw into a Trinket Mage here, so we can use that next turn. Like I was saying, a lot of the decks these days, they don't run the Vapor Snags even, so once you get something like this Duo on the field with this Steeled Godhead, it has a pretty good chance of actually sticking. And he is unblockable, so there's nothing he can do unless he actually does have one of those bounce spells. So I guess we will find out. It becomes a bit of a race here. He's going to be able to swing for 4 every turn with these Spire Golems. Luckily for me, the lifelink will cancel that out on every turn because of the Thistledown Duo, unless he has an answer for it. Not going to be able to block with the War Falcon yet. I think our play next turn is Trinket Mage into Bone Splitter. Depends what he's going to do as far as... Alright. So he's got 2 mana available, 2 cards in hand. That's pretty good odds that he has a counterspell. But I think I'm going to make the play anyways in an attempt to draw out the counterspell. If he doesn't have it, I'm going to be able to get a Bone Splitter on that Duo. But I think, you know, he has the, this gives me an opportunity, like I said, to draw it out. It gives me a chance to now put the Squire down. I'm still going to get a little bit of a bonus on the Thistledown Duo. He is going to be able to get both color bonuses because I played a blue and a white spell, and he's going to get the Exalted. So that's somewhat helpful to me. He's now down to 1 card in hand, and there's one thing that mono blue control hates. It's not having a big handful of cards. You know, his odds of having an actual counterspell in there at this point are significantly lowered. Mono blue control will do stuff like holding out islands and stuff. Alright, another Spire Golem. Well, we're going to attempt to put down this Guardian. If it sticks, this will be game, I do believe. The Duo is going to go up to 5, and he's going to have 2 stacks of Exalted, and he is unblockable. Yep, that is game there. So, like I said, if they get down to 1 card in hand, it's pretty much game over. Kind of an interesting use of Ideas Unbound. I know I've seen it before, but I've always thought it was kind of questionable because of the fact that you do discard 3 cards for it. Oh well. So I'm going to go into game number 3 here, and then we'll do a quick wrap-up. Alright guys, we are here. Game number 3, opening hand is awful. We have not only 5 lands, but 4 of them are blue. How about that, Shuffler? Oh, now this is, do we take a risk here? We're on the draw, so 6 is not a bad place to be. We are going to have a 1-drop off the Squire or the Falcon. I think I'm going to risk it. I'm going to go really risky on this because what we can do here, we're going to actually do turn 1 Falcon. This means that by turn 2 the Summoning Sickness will be off, and at the very least we can play the Squire. Ah, sweet, and we got our second land. So this gives us a chance that we can attack with the bird for a 3-2. Interesting start from my opponent, playing a white deck apparently with Vault Scourge. Ah, and he's got his own Exalted mechanic. This will be very, very interesting. Alright, so we have to put down a soldier here so we can attack with a bird, so we will put down our own Even Squire and attack for 3. A little difficult off the life gain here from the Vault Scourge. Oh, what is going on? I feel like I'm in a mirror match here. Getting rid of that's going to be a little tough on this Even. Okay, so I have to now, I'm going to be able to put down at least 2 of my Exalted creatures so I can attack for 4 this time. And both of them actually qualify to give the Falcon its ability to attack. So that's great. Gonna have to keep 1 ahead of my opponent here on the life gain. He's gonna go up 2 every turn. It looks like I'm gonna be able to swing for 4 at the very least every turn. Hopefully no more removal here for him. I'm going to next turn be able to put the Bone Splitter on. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. Okay, we're gonna go Bone Splitter first. Hopefully he does not have any kind of answer to preventing the damage or anything. I'll do Chancery, returning the island. We're going to swing through with the War Falcon for 6. Fingers crossed. No. Wow, he's really... Ah, this is awful. Rebuke, destroy target attacking creature. That sucks. That's alright. We are going to use Journey to Nowhere next turn. I think the play here is to remove the life gain. Maybe not. I think actually the better play is to remove the Exalted. Gaining 1 life is not so critical, but even if we remove that, the Even Squire is going to be able to attack through the air for 2 damage. So I think it is definitely the better play there to remove the Squire. Now we're going to put the Bone Splitter on this Squire. And I'm going to attack with this one because I want, just on the chance that he's got another Rebuke in hand, I want to keep this Aethercast Knight because it's got that 3 toughness. It gives us a chance to block. What is that? Ooh. Interesting. Very interesting. You do see this Squire does now get to attack for 6/4 because of the Exalted. Definitely a very cool thing. I really was worried about whether or not the Exalted mechanic would hold up, and this deck has proved me otherwise. Alright, we're just going to continue to throw down Exalted creatures and attacking with 1. I'm going to get rid of... I do this... I have 6th the turn here, but I'm going to actually get ready to remove auto yields because I didn't mean to. If he had some kind of answer to kill it, I wanted to be able to attach the Bone Splitter on this turn just to make sure I had mana available next turn for any kind of play that I may have wanted to do. Oh, this is very cool because it is kind of a similar thing. He's playing Guardians here as well. Hindering Light, we are going to keep things open for that, but we are going to continue to attack through, and he is going to probably chump block that, though there's really no need. He can easily take the damage off this 1 hit and not have to sacrifice that creature just yet. I say it all the time, I think newer players are too ready to chump block and prevent damage. They want to stick as close to 20 as possible, and more experienced players are willing to take damage and get their life down very low. I've had games where I've gone down to, anywhere from 8 to 6 life, and, because of the fact that I took some damage in key situations, I was able to prolong turns until a point in time where I was able to kind of get myself back in the game. Definitely something to be aware of. Okay, I'm going to hold on to this Plains. We are at a point where we have 5 mana. You really do not need any more than that. We have mana open for Hindering Light, so we're going to keep it as kind of a bluff 3, 4, 5. If we attack with those, it's going to do more damage if we do not attack with all creatures here. So keep swinging away with one. See what he has available to him. Oh, interesting. 2/3 Infect with Flying. So that means I gotta do some damage, and I gotta do some damage fast. Upon blocking, he is probably going to block the Squire here. So upon blocking, because it is an infect creature, it's going to give damage in the form of -1/-1 counters, which means that this guy will die after this Exalted wears off. Let's see if he chooses to block. I feel like he has to now. Throwing down that second Guardian makes it an 8/6, which means that it's going to be that much more troublesome. Okay, so as I said, he's got the counters on it for -2/-2. That means at end of turn it's going to die. So I'm going to move the Bone Splitter on this turn, and I think I'm going to put this down so I still have the mana available to use Hindering Light. I feel there's not a lot to bluff here. It seems that his only real targeted... Oh, God, that sucks. His targeted removal is on attackers. Man, that is brutal, because again, infect creature, it's going to kill this guy off after attacking. I could, attack with this and it would bring him down to a 1/2, or I'm sorry, a 1/1. But I am just going to keep doing this. I do still want to keep that guy's defense available to him, just on the off chance that my opponent does start to draw into creatures that he can attack with here. Hopefully he gets a few less of these infect creatures. Those are really hurting me here, because it's working as removal and it's not anything targeted, so I can't use the Hindering Lights. Alright, you always want to make sure you play these Exalted creatures before your attack phase. That way, when you attack, it of course is going to get the bonus of having that available. This is interesting. Very interesting deck. He's got Exalted going on here with kind of a minor Proliferate Infect deck in it. Kind of interesting. Still going to be able to swing for 6, thankfully, to Bone Splitter. That would have, that other guy would have made a swinging for 7, obviously. Bone Splitter on the Aethercast Knight is really nice because of the fact that it gives 3/3, so it puts it at a point where its toughness is balanced to its power. Puts down another Infect, so clearly the main focus of this deck was Infect, and just had some other creatures available to it. Now, I can attack here. It's going to... I'm actually going to skip attacking this turn. This will keep my Knight at a 3/3, and hopefully if he does not get any other creatures, I can use the Lawkeeper to tap out the Infect creatures at the end of his turn. Usually want to do that at the end of the turn when there's an opportunity for it, because then if he has 2 creatures, you can use the Lawkeeper twice to tap both of them out if you're going to swing for the win. Come on, buddy, let's see what you got. Second creature coming down here. Oh, Oblivion Ring. Not good. Very, very not good. Oh, interesting. Went with the Lawkeeper there. Okay, I did not think that's where he was going. I think that was definitely to my advantage. Hindering Light, useless against Oblivion Rings. We are at a point in time where I'm getting a little mana flooded. I am actually going to attack now. The Exalted is going to make up for the -1/-1 counters on it. The 2 damage is not going to kill it, but a Proliferate will finish it off. I think I'm still going to take the chance here. I'm in really kind of an aggressive position here, being ahead on life, putting my opponent on the ropes. I think it's the right choice to attack. duo is coming down. And another counterspell. Ugh. Well, that's going to be the end of the Ethercast night. I did not see that coming. Alright, well, the only benefit I can see here is my opponent is without a hand. I am going to still attach the Bone Splitter to the Guardian. This way, if there's an opportunity where he is attacking on the ground, my Guardian has a better chance to finish off the creature that attacks as opposed to just preventing the damage. Oh, this could be a very, very interesting game. Because now he's going to start coming back. I really need to draw into a creature, and I'm going to get land flooded. Oh, man. People wonder why I complain so much about land flood, and I run, 4 Evolving Wilds and stuff like that all the time. It's to avoid situations like this. You're at a point where you had the opponents on the ropes. Now he's going to have every opportunity to get back into it. He's attacking me for 2 every turn. I am down to 4 turns left until I am dead at the very most. He is also going to be going up life, so at this point in time he has now put himself back ahead of me. And land. Frustrating. Very frustrating. It's alright. We will play it out. If he is in a very good position to win this, and I think it is absolutely hysterical. And Oblivion Ring. He's probably going for Bone Splitter at this point in time, or he could go for Journey. Yep. That's probably a better play here because I have no creatures. I have not drawn into a creature. So by getting that, he is going to be able to go up 3 life, and has now cut my turns down to 3. Oh, man. I can't believe the use of the Vault Scourge is going to get him back into this. Alright. Finally have a creature here. We'll get our own lifelink going. We know he has nothing to counterspell, so hopefully he does not draw into another Oblivion Ring. I think that would be what seals the fate for this. That and more land, because I can attack with it, but... Infect! This is going to kill me. Infect is going to be the death of me, because unless I draw into a Steel of the Godhead, the Thistledown duo is going to simply die to a blocking Infect creature. So, looks like my options here are Steel of the Godhead. Anything else, yeah, this is game over. Land Flood. I'm not gonna bitch. I'm not gonna bitch. Alright, well this is game over. He's going to be simply able to attack with flyers next turn. Let's concede this game. Let's draw cards. I want to see land, Guardian, land. This is kind of why I felt like the Guardians were not that great. Something that I wanted to cut back to 3 because of the fact that you get a situation like this, Guardian, and they're just not of any use to you. Alright, well we're going to pause this here. That is the 3rd game. I'm going to jump back over. Actually, let's just do it. Let's just jump over here and we'll give final thoughts. So, here's the deck. We played with the Trinket Mages. We didn't actually encounter a lot of use from those. I think our best option for those was in game 2 against that Delver Blue deck, where we had an opportunity where we could have used Trinket Mage to find the Bone Splitters. Now, Trinket Mage into Artifact lands did not solve the mana problem at all. I know it's something I was going for, but so far in these test games, it did not solve the problem. We got land flooded still, we got bad draws on colors still. Really didn't kind of help us out. I still like the use of Trinket Mage. I do like the fact that we had the ability to search out the Bone Splitters, to search out the lands. I know it still does not trigger the War Falcon, and that kind of sucks, but at the same time, I still think it's a necessary thing. I think the only other change that I would make, after testing this again and playing it again, I would probably still cut these Guardians down to 3. Maybe you can go for a third Lawkeeper there. I think if you brought in another creature, definitely make sure it does kind of fit that Soldier and Knight ability for the War Falcon, so you can get that early play. I mean, you see how powerful it is when you get that turn 1 War Falcon and have a turn 2 follow up with an Exalted creature, whether that's an Aven Squire or the Akrasan Squire. Either way, even the Ethercast Knight, as long as you get that turn 2 follow up, it becomes a really big threat, and you can attack on turn 2 for 3. That's pretty awesome. So I think, wrapping things up here, the only other change I would make would probably be to cut the walls down to 3. Like I said, maybe a third Lawkeeper here. Again, if you do go for another creature, make sure it is a Knight or a Soldier. You can feel free to bring back a 4th Hindering Light. I have such a love-hate relationship with that Hindering Light card, because of the fact that it really has... It's great when it works. Other times it's just a dead card. It's so 50-50. Maybe you want to sit down and try a couple of different things in place of that to act as defense and offense or drawing and whatnot. So there you go, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Check out the article. Remember, those who are following my articles on a regular basis, next week we do have a second week of competitive Pauper information, so you're going to check that out as well. Bit of a short article this week, bit of a fast video, but hopefully you guys enjoyed it.